Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of ReZero, where I will be checking out episode number 4 this time. So things left off in a really interesting way in the previous episode. It looked like we were kind of going into the Subaru world for maybe an episode, or maybe even an entire arc. I don't know what we have to learn here, but I'm pretty sure that was Subaru's voice that was telling him that he had to face his past. So I imagine Emilia had the exact same thing where she heard herself saying you have to face your past. So whatever that means, I don't know if that means she's going to be experiencing and reliving things that happened before she was ever in that crystal, because she seems very confused and very unsure, and she doesn't really know who she is, what is happening in the world. She doesn't really know much at all. She only knows, I guess, what Puck has taught her, what maybe Roswell has taught her, what she's learned from the world. When it comes to Subaru, we just know that he was in a shop and then he was here. We know nothing else about the past before all that. And we were very hilariously introduced to his father right at the end of the previous episode. So I hope that we get to see more of that relationship. I hope that we get to see that play out a bit. Maybe Subaru is the way he is because of his father. And I think that would be really sweet. And I think that would be really nice to learn. I'm excited to see what we get in this one. But I am a little scared because the verbiage and the wording of you must face your past, that kind of indicates that something bad happened. That kind of tells me that everything isn't okay. And that makes me worried for Subaru because I don't want to see him in any more pain. Like, it's been pain after pain after pain, and I'm just ready now for some good to come. I'm scared, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we get because this could be a very positive episode, and that's what I hope we get here. Another thing I wanted to talk about that I've been thinking about since the previous episode, I did have it in my head to talk about, but I forgot to in the post episode talk in the previous one. The whole witch factor thing. So obviously the way it seems to me right now is that if a witch is dead, their essence lingers on and can, take over the body or possess the body or give powers to another person. And that's what Laibat and Kaitos is, that's what Regulus is, and that's what Betelgeuse was. They were simply beings that had the witch factor of a witch that is now dead. So that would mean that Sadla, Envy, there's no witch factor, if I'm right here, because that witch factor should still reside within Satla herself. She is not dead. She's simply in a slumber, sealed away, locked away, whatever it happens to be. Maybe the whole sealed away thing is to do with memories. Maybe Satla is actually Emilia walking around, as I've been kind of like being led to believe more and more as these episodes go on. It really does seem to me that Emilia could very well be Satla. I've not really seen anything else to kind of indicate otherwise at this point. So I'm wondering now if that means the sealing away is actually like the memories. Those memories and everything are sealed away. And for some reason, they're trying to unseal those memories right now in this sanctuary. That's a scary prospect if it happens to be true. But I guess we'll find out. Another thing is that I was thinking that maybe the Sword Saint has one of those witch factors. And that would mean that for some reason, the witch factor of one of the witches just remains in that family. I don't know why, I don't know how. The family of the Van Estrellas must have a relationship or have had a relationship with one of those witches. So now I'm thinking that that's why, it seems to be that when someone with the witch factor dies, it moves on to someone else who might be seen as worthy. And that's what we were kind of told with Betelgeuse, with the witch factor there. And I'm guessing that's kind of what happens when a Sword Saint dies. The witch factor is taken by the next strongest Van Estrella or something like that. I don't know which witch. I don't know which of the witches I would kind of guess for that one, but I'd be interested to find out. And that makes me then wonder if each of the candidates maybe has some sort of connection to a witch. I could sit here and be like, well, Priscilla might be lust related or something like that, but I'm not going to sit here and do that. I'm just going to throw out ideas, and you know, maybe one of them will stick eventually. I do apologize that this has gone on for a long time, this introduction. I just have been thinking about this a lot and I wanted to get it off my chest. I wanted to share it with you guys. But yeah, I'm really excited to check out this episode today. I hope it's another banger. I'm sure it will be. If you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Hit the bell down below so that you're notified when these videos go live. And of course, comment down below letting me know what you're planning to get up to this weekend. And Peanut is in the background opening the door. You can see him right there a little bit. I don't know what he's doing. He's just being a pain. But yeah, let's just check this one out. Re:Zero, Season 2, Episode 4. Let's go. Alright, let's see what this one has in store for us. Here we go. Oh shit, are we keeping this filter the entire time? Ah shit, I don't have subtitles on. Let me turn subtitles on. Wow, he trains? MMA type shit? Okay, is that Mama? Aww. Holy shit, it's nothing but peas. I love peas, but I'm not sure I could eat that much. That's funny. Once in a lifetime. The father ended up with the peas. You're being picky. That's your mother you're talking about. Shit, they're all the same? Holy shit! I bet that tastes real good, actually. Wait, you're not going to school? Has he got memories of Isekai World? Because he did look very confused when he woke up at the beginning of this episode. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of leakage happening there or what's happening. And why are you not going to school? Like, what's happening there? Whoa. What is happening? The moonwalk! Her name is Amelia. But I guess you might not know that here? Oh, that's sweet. Wow, it's in the middle of spring, I guess. It's like something I'd expect to see in like a romance series with this lighting and everything. Did he take the day off to look after you? Is that what happened? Oh, so, you look just like your father. Wait, no, actually, you don't at all. Yeah, the eyes are very much your mother's eyes. What is happening? So clearly he's been like chosen by the Witch of Envy even when he was in this world, and it was affecting him in some way. Because I'm guessing this is just entirely in the past right now. Holy shit. The fizz. What? Yeah. Aww. I really gotta know right now, like, what the deal is here.
好きな子とかいる？
That's Amelia. Did she wake up?
どうした？
今誰か俺のこと呼ばなかった？
いいよ。
I've got a theory, but it's a pretty crazy one. I'm gonna save it for the end.
率直になんで学校行かないんだって言えよ。
Aw.
人が珍しく気使ってやってるっつうのに。
That
ま、その話がしたかったのは本当だから間違っちゃいないけどな。
Yeah, I mean, like, it is a strange thing.
悪いと思ってるよ。
別に思う必要ねえよ。考えあってのことだとぼんやり思ってるし、考えなしのことでもある程度はしゃあねえなと見逃す気でいるしな。
He's so understanding and so nice. We all need a Papa Subaru in this world.
俺は学校が全てとは思ってないしな。いいんじゃねえの？
Yeah. Yeah, you go to school and then you come out of it and a lot of people don't even do anything with it.
今日はただのグリーンピース記念日だ。
It's Peace Day.
皿いっぱいに持ったからな。
Is that a play on Peace Day?
面構えの話な。面は相変わらず目つきだけはお母さんに似て悪人面だよ。
That's funny.
俺は何も変わっちゃいないよ。それでいいと思ってるし、これからだって。
おいおい、本気できつそうだぞ。大丈夫なのか？
What? Are you gonna see Amelia right now? Or is this Sattler? Alright, I've...
ありがとうスバル。
君を
私を助けてくれて。
なんだ
スバル。
誰だ。
The blessing of the spirits? Subaru, have you been placed in this other world that isn't real? Have you been sealed away somehow?
どうして私を助けてくれるの？
I don't know. And is this pain that you're feeling to do with someone trying to pull you out of here? I'm not sure.
もう大丈夫だ。
That's kind of the theory I had. I just kind of shared it right now.
落ち着いたのがいいんだが。
That's crazy. I mean, he's somehow got memories of Amelia.
好きな子できたよ。だから俺はもう大丈夫だ。
Yeah, but you don't know her in this world. Like, what is happening?
知ってて見ないふりして。
Oh, shit.
俺だけ
Really?
が気づいてる俺の弱さを父さんやお母さんに叩きつけてほしかった。足りないバカで独りよがりなクズなんだって。
That's not
二人
true,
に叩きつけられ
Subaru.
て諦めさせてほしかった。俺昔から何でも小器用にこなせるところがあったよな。
This is true. Aw.
でもいつからかな、一番にできてたことが一番じゃなくなっていった。
That's what happens.
勉強を頑張るなんてバカバカしい。俺がこうやってみんなを笑わせてる方がずっとすごいし、ずっと強い。
Aw. Making people
でも
smile.
そんなこと続けてたら当然次からはもっとでかいことをやらなきゃならない。何でもやるんだって思い込ませてた。
You just wanted people to like you. You wanted to make people smile.
こんな楽しいこと俺と一緒にいなきゃ味わえないんだって。
And slowly they're disappearing one by one until you're left alone yet again.
気がついたら俺の周りにはも
Damn.
う俺しか残ってなかった。
That's awful.
ようやく気づけたんだ。俺は何も特別な人間なんかじゃなかった。
There's plenty special about you, Subaru. You are your father's son after all. Damn, is that how he just sees himself? That's awful. He wants to be an individual, but he's just being told he's...
それからひたすら目立たずに済むように
Oh,
徹底して過ごしたよ。
that's not the Subaru I know.
高校に入って我ながら盛大な高校デビュー失敗だったぜ。そりゃそうだ。小中まともに人間関係やってこなかったやつが
That's
うまく
funny.
やれるはずがね。
Aw, he just wanted to go in and be
ふと思ったんだ。
really over the top and maybe people would like him.
学校行きたくねえなってさ。でも父さんもお母さんもどんなに俺がみっともなくなっても
Because they love you.
変わらずに接してくれて、 それが一番怖かった。だから
It's
お前な
unconditional.
んか愛してない。お前なんか大嫌いだ。お前なんか俺の子じゃない。
That's awful.
そう言って俺を投げ捨てて欲しかった。俺を諦めさせて欲しかった。
スバル君には似合わない。
Aw, Ram.
レムは、スバル君は
You're somebody's hero.
ここから始めましょ
From zero?
う。一から。いいえ、ゼロから。
Ah! Holy shit!
見たかスバル、これが俺の愛情を込めた。
That wasn't a headbutt, that was a kick!
ヘッド
足かなり上がってるだろう。
He's
し
flexible.
かしお前あれだな、かなりアホだな。俺に嫌われようとか思ってるくせにその方法が登校拒否ってアホか。つか俺に見捨ててほしけりゃもっと能動的にやれよ。誰が自分の殻にこもったぐらいで自分のガキ見捨てるかっつの。そんなアホ一直線な息子の曲がった少年だ。お望みなら俺が力ずくで叩き直してやってもいいんだが。
Oh, he's never gonna give up on you, Subaru.
だろう。好きな子できたんだ。それに俺みたいなの好きだってそう言ってくれる子がいたんだ。その子たちは俺のことを夏木健一の息子
Natsuki
だなんて知らない。
Kenichi.
俺はその子たちの前ではただの夏木スバルだ。それがようやく分かったんだよ。
けどお前が偉大すぎる俺にそんな憧れ抱いてるなんて気
Oh,
づ
of
けなかった。俺の
course.
ミスだ。俺の方こそ
You
お前
look
にとって
just
大
like
きすぎ
him.
る存在でごめんな。
Apart from the eyes.
なのに認めたくねえ気持ちが半端ね
でもこれでちった肩の荷が下りた。あとは未来の話だ。こっからこっから。
Aw.
俺とお母さんをしっかり養ってくれよ。長男。
Only, no? Aw.
え。ごめんなさい。
スバル。
ごめんなさい。俺
お
もう二人俺何にも返せないままきっともう会えない。
He knows. Oh shit, he knows it's coming.
ごめんなさい。
He's got the knowledge that he's going to be isekai'd, I
い
guess.
つまで経ってもお前は手のかかる息子だよ。まったく。
Never see you again is awful. Wow, look at that stretch.
いろいろとお前にも
Or
あるん
was
だ
that
ろ
like
う
some
よ。
sort of...
だから俺から言うことは一つだけだ。頑張れよ。
Give it your
期
all.
待してるぜ、息子。
Hell yeah.
ああ任せとけよ父
This
ちゃん。
boy will always give it his all. Oh shit, there it is.
俺の名前は夏木スバル夏木健一の息子だ。なんだってやれるしなんだってやってやる。あんたの息子すげえんだぜ。
知ってるよ。何せ半分は俺でできてんだからな。
What about the other half? Is that other half awesome too?
学生夏木スバル完成。ざっと3ヶ月ぶりってとこかな。
3 months, that's crazy. But he's willing to go back, he's willing to give it his all, and he's willing to try. And that's a beautiful thing that, you know, he was able
お
to
母さんと一緒にマヨ
share
ネ
that
ー
with
ズ
his
舐める？
今こんな気分じゃ。
mayonnaise,
そうだよね。
with his father.
だ
He
って
was able to
スバ
share
ル
that
本
moment.
当はそんなにマヨネーズ好きじゃ
You
ないもん
don't?
ね。お父さんとお母さんが好きだから一緒に舐めてくれてただけだもんね。
Aw.
何を根拠にそんな。
じゃあスバルは世界とマヨネーズどっちを選ぶの？
いやそれを世界
The world or mayonnaise?
二人顔
What?
して何がほらねえんだよ。その
Would you
選択で
choose
マヨネー
mayonnaise?
ズ選ぶやつはマヨネーズが好きなんじゃなくて
あ
世界が嫌いなんだよ。
Does she hate the world?
今から学校行くの？お母さんは嬉しいけど悪目立ちするんじゃない？明日できることは明日にしたら？
そうやって息子のやる気の出花くじくのやめようよ。
Yeah, he's finally built himself up to do it. Don't tell him you can do it tomorrow.
で、なんでお母さんついてきてんの？
Are you making sure he gets
引きこもり
there?
出して親同伴で登校って罰ゲームってレベルじゃねえぞ。
学校まで行かないよ。ちょっとそこのコンビニまで。お父さんと何話してたの？
ちょっとした昔話をね。
それで昔話して学校に行く気になったの？
まあ簡単に言うとね。
Made him want to be a better person, like he wanted to work on things.
何でもかんでもお父さんみたいにやろうとするのはやめたってことね。お父さんがむやみに多趣味だったせいでいろんな機会もあったし、 疲れちゃうよね。
It's tiring.
親は子供が思ってるより子供のことよーく見てるの。お母さんだ
I'm
っ
sure they
て
do.
スバルのこと見てるんだよ。小さい頃は座薬だって入れたことあるんだからお尻の穴まで見てるんです。
すみません。
Why are we talking about this? What the
いら
hell?
ないんですよ。
What was that?
どうにかしてあげられるんならしてあげたんだけどね。お母さんが何をしてもきっとダメになっちゃいそうだったから、お母さんでもお父さんでもない誰かが何とかしてくれたんだよね。その人に感謝しなきゃ。
That we should be.
そうなんだ。だからこうして今歩けてる。すげえいい子たちなんだ。俺にはもったいないぐらい。俺が釣り合うかどうかの問題じゃねえんだよ。誰かにやるぐらいなら釣り合わなくても俺のもんにする。それから俺の価値を積み上げるさ。
Damn, Subaru.
やっぱりあの人の子だね。
There's those words again. Oh shit.
俺はちゃんとできてるかな。俺はちゃんとあの人の子供をやれてるかな。
だってスバルの半分はお母さんなんだから。
And that half
お父
is.
さんの半分までかっこよくなったら
え
ノルマ達成じゃない。お父さんの半分かっこよくなって残り半分スバルになったらいいんじゃ
The
ない。
other half can be your mother. A nice,
そん
kind,
なわけ
compassionate
で
person
スバルはスバルらしく頑張ったらいいなとお母さんは
who
思います。
watches and cares about others, learns about others. But you could also just be yourself.
お父さんみたいになりたいって思いながらスバルになるんだよ。それじゃ頑張って。
Gambate. We heard those words before.
やらなきゃいけないことがあるんだ。だから長いお別れになる。ちょっと遠くて連絡とかもできそうにないんだ。でもどんなとこにいても俺は二人のことを思ってるし忘れたりしないし。
Aw.
スバル
もう自分が二人の子供でいたくないなんて思わないし、自分が嫌いになるようなこともしたくない。
大丈夫だから。
She
ス
came
バルが
back.
何を言いたいのかちゃんと分かってるから。だってお母さんはスバルのお母さんなんだから。
She knows you better than anyone, is what she's trying to say. Better than maybe you even realize you know yourself.
ごめんお母さん。
Yeah.
俺結局誰に何もできないわ。
Now you need to live your life for
何かしてほ
yourself.
しいから産んだわけじゃないんだよ。何かしてあげたいから産んだの。
That's exactly what I was thinking.
だせ
Not at
泣く
all.
のいいじゃない。たくさん泣いて最後に笑えたらそれで全部大丈夫。大事なのは最初でも途中でもなくって最後なんだから。
As long as some good comes out of it.
それって結果良ければオールオーケーってこと？
そういう受け取り方とは違います。
Well, yeah, actually, maybe not.
お母さんからの
It's
祝
not that it
杯。
doesn't matter. You can still do terrible things, just even if things work out okay. You know, it doesn't make the terrible things okay.
それじゃあ行くよ。
Thank you, Mama Subaru.
いってらっしゃい。
Aww. And now we bring ourselves to the point where we leave. It's a weird, like, time loop thing that I'm not quite wrapping my head around. Oh, that's so sad. He very clearly loves his parents and he knows he has to give them up and potentially never see them again.
思ったより随分と早く着いたね。ようこそ。
What are you doing here?
自分の過去と向き合う時間は
Okay,
君に
alright.
何をもたらしたかな？
Parent and child. So first of all, I would just like to apologize. I was very clearly misinterpreting this entire episode as it was going on. I thought that this was maybe we were seeing a glimpse into his actual past, whereas this was taking a fabricated version of his life before he ended up here and playing out events so that he could overcome certain obstacles that he was experiencing in that life before he ended up here. So I understand that now, but it took me until, I guess, Echidna was there to be like, oh, you passed the test, blah, blah, blah. Like, I genuinely thought this was a glimpse into something that literally happened in his past. But no, this was a really, really sweet and nice way for Subaru to get closure with his family, with his parents, because he probably feels really guilty and really bad that now that he's here, and he just has never talked about it because it probably hurts to think about. It probably really hurts. So yeah, I was theorizing that maybe this was something to do with, you know, like there was some weird time travel stuff or time loop thing, or something to do with Subaru being sealed away in here, and this is Amelia / Sattler trying to break him out. That's what I was thinking while I was watching this, and that's what I referred to at the beginning of the post talk, where I was like, oh, I have something to talk about, but I'll save it for later. I'm not sure I believe that so much, because I don't think that this is literally the real world, or literally like a real situation that Subaru truly experienced. I think that this is just a fabricated reality that Echidna has created for Subaru. We have seen that she is able to alter the world and what you see and everything like that, because we saw that at the tea party. So this is Echidna once again creating this made up world for Subaru, where he experiences, you know, all of these not real things, but with a real filter over them. Like, it feels real, and it doesn't become real for him until he is able to overcome anything that he is suffering within his heart, any of the hardships that he feels right here. He's not able to overcome this task, and that's exactly why he's here. Echidna is putting him to the test, and Echidna wants him to overcome, and I guess that's so that he doesn't have any baggage, he doesn't have any, as his father says, like less weight on his shoulder, I guess, on his shoulders, you know, worrying about the stuff, worrying about his parents and everything like that, because he was able to get some closure here. He was able to say goodbye to them. He was able to feel comfortable and safe with his decision, because despite the fact that those scenarios might not have really happened in that real world, it feels close enough and it feels good enough maybe for Subaru to say goodbye and to, you know, wish them well and apologize and feel guilty for leaving them, but understand that they want the best for him. And the words that they were able to share with Subaru really rang true here. And it was very clear that even if they're not the real versions, they're very much great imitations, and probably almost true imitations of his parents. And they were able to basically tell him, you know, we want what's best for you. We don't care what you do for us. We care what we do for you. We want you to go live a good life. We want you to do whatever. We're not going to hate you. We're not going to kick you out. We're not going to do anything ever, because you're our child and we love you so much and we only want the best. And that's such a true and beautiful message here. And we see that time and time again within this episode, where yes, despite the fact that Subaru's father is a little aggressive at times and he's constantly, you know, jumping on him, kicking him, punching him, you know, putting him in an arm bar and leg bar, shit like that, he loves his son more than anything. And it's honestly so sweet that we get to see his father really just take the time out of his day, leave work so that he can be with his son in order to try to help him. Because yes, the parents both know something's up with Subaru. They're not going to grill him, they're not going to lecture him, they're going to let him do what he thinks he needs to do, and they'll be there to support it no matter what. And it's something that I feel like everyone needs in their lives. Like, I know that, you know, parents can be very supportive and they can be amazing and great, but sometimes, you know, people just need the space to grow and learn on their own. And sometimes you get certain parents who aren't willing to allow their children to do that. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm not here to start a whole thing about, like, you know, situations like that. I'm just sharing that I think it's beautiful that Subaru in this world had exactly that. And the parents that he has were able to literally encourage him to go and seek out Amelia, go do what he needs to do and not worry about them. And that's honestly so sweet. And I love it so much. It was so adorable. It was so beautiful. I have one request of you guys. If you guys could let me know any of the manga, posters, figures that Subaru has that maybe are imitating other series or other characters, please let me know. I think that would be really fun to learn. I don't know if there would be any kind of relevancy or anything to learn from the things he has in his room. But it's very clear that, you know, he's got some figures that almost seem to be reminiscent of characters that we see in ReZero. And as someone in the comment section did point out in the previous episode, it almost does seem like Subaru has a type before he ever gets isekai'd. And that is, you know, silver-haired elf girl. Like, it very much seems like that is the case here. But I think you can learn a lot about the character of Subaru from this episode and from his parents. His father, brash, in your face, willing to do anything, can do anything, is just like a really bubbly, friendly person and just a huge personality. That is very much Subaru a lot of the time. But then his mother is very mellowed out. She's very calm and understanding. She's willing to watch and observe and learn from being around people and being just someone who cares about others, and she will do anything for the people she cares about, it would seem. And that's also part of Subaru. So I feel like this was a really nice insight into how he is the way he is, because Subaru does at times seem like two completely different characters. There's the I want to do everything for myself Subaru, which, you know, is kind of what they were encouraging to do, you know, be himself and be his own person. But then there's also the character who is his parents, and I just love so much that we now have that insight into why he is the way he is, how he is the way he is, and it just makes it all the more special that he is the way he is, because he loves his parents and his parents love him. And it's truly a beautiful thing here, honestly. It is very much almost like a slice of life episode here for a lot of it. There's not really too much going on in the way of lore relevancy or world relevancy or anything like that, but it is just a really nice, fun little break episode from all the chaos that has been happening in the past few episodes. This has been a really nice insight into Subaru's life. And, you know, it's something that I think I was maybe questioning during the openings while I was watching openings for the series. I kind of questioned whether Subaru would go to the real world every time he died, because it was very clear from the openings that he would die over and over again, because we see him literally die in some of the early openings. But I truly thought that he would go to the real world and he would have to figure out a way to get back every time. But that's not the case. He just ends up in that isekai world every single time. And over time, I kind of forgot about Subaru even being in this world at all, like this you know, real world, the Subaru world. And I kind of like forgot that that's something I really wanted to see. I really wanted to see him interact with people in this world, see how he is in this world, see what his relationships are like, and, you know, kind of understand his situation in this world. But because it's been over a season, I almost honestly forgot that this was something I wanted to see in general, and I'm so glad that we got to see it today. I'm so glad that this was exactly what I wanted. Subaru feeling the pains in his heart, I didn't really understand at the beginning, but I think that was, you know, I thought that this was something that he experienced in the real world when he was really here, and not like, you know, like before he was isekai essentially. I thought that he truly experienced this, and he had some memory leakage coming in and something was trying to get him or something like that. I completely didn't understand this until the very end of the episode, and that's frustrating to me, because the whole episode I was kind of speculating things that are not true whatsoever. But this pain in his heart is something he feels until he overcomes those doubts and those feelings and realizes the truth and understands what is doing and why he's here in the first place, I guess. We get to see time and time again just how much his father cares about him, calling him his pride and joy, saying, you know, everything is a once in a lifetime thing with his son and everything. He speaks so highly of his son. He's even left his work for I don't know how long so that he can be with Subaru. It's honestly incredible. It really, really is, just seeing just how deeply rooted that unconditional love is between parent and son, or to use the episode of this title, parent and child. And that obviously goes for both parents, but you know, it does follow the father first. You know, he is the in-your-face character, so it made sense for him to be, you know, the first character that we, you know, spend time with when it comes to his parents. And I guess that's also maybe part of why I thought this was a flashback opposed to this alternate reality type thing. Subaru starts to hear someone calling his name, and his father kind of brushes that off, basically tells him that he will do literally anything it takes for his son. He doesn't care if he takes all this time off school. School isn't that important in the long run. It's just very supportive and the kind of parent that, you know, everyone would love to have. And he's a really great person. He's a really kind and thoughtful individual, and Subaru is very lucky to have him in his life. He's very lucky to be named his son, and as we learn across this episode, he is very much his father's son, and a lot of people say it, and Subaru feels that weight. He feels this weight of expectation to live up to that title of being his father's son. But a great point of this is that he learns that he doesn't have to be. He can be himself. He can only sometimes be half of his son, and that's okay. Of course, it takes for Emilia to show up in Subaru's thoughts. It's once those memories and those thoughts kick in and kick through the fog and really just shine in Subaru's mind, and he hears the words that Emilia and he shared together all those episodes ago, you know, towards the end of the season, and also like the words that Rem said to him when he was at potentially his lowest in season 1. Those words shine through and they really just allow him to smile. And that's something that his mother talks about later in the episode. It doesn't matter if you're crying, it doesn't matter if you're sad, it doesn't matter. As long as at the end of it, you're able to smile about it. And that's exactly what happens here. Subaru ends up smiling, he's happy, he's okay, he's content, he's fine with everything, and he realizes the truth and why he's here and what he needs to do, and he knows that he will leave and probably never see his parents again, but he understands that they want what's best for him, and he knows that this is what he wants. And that's important because a lot of this is that he talks to his father about how he pretended to be someone else his whole life. Once he realized he wasn't good enough, once he realized he couldn't stand out anymore, he tried to stand out by being an idiot, essentially, by making people laugh, making people smile, doing really stupid things. And yes, we do know that he still is a great person when it comes to making people smile and making people laugh. That's his whole personality. That's him. That's Subaru in a nutshell. But he doesn't go out of his way to do stupid things about it. And that's because he realized that people would eventually leave if there was no real connection, if they didn't really care about you and they just cared about these silly, dumb things that you do. There's no connection there. And Subaru realizes that a really tough way while he's a child, and that sadly makes him become a shut-in, and he doesn't really let people in, he doesn't really get close to people, and he doesn't really make connections or forge bonds anymore. He just accepts life and he coasts through it. Even though we know that's not Subaru, that's not the character he is, that's not the person he is. That's kind of the role he has to fit into because he feels guilty, he feels bad, and he feels like he doesn't live up to any expectations, anything that is expected of him. And of course, once he does try, and he tries to make those bonds, and he tries to make an impression when he starts high school, everyone's kind of wary of him and everyone backs off, and that just makes things harder for Subaru, and it makes him go into his shell even more, which is very upsetting. And it's also just really upsetting to see Subaru feel like he's not special, especially when we know that there are people in this world with Rem and Emilia who see him as highly important and highly special to them. And yeah, I just hope that Subaru starts to realize that more and more, that he is special and that he means a great deal to some people. I think it was really funny that his father was like, "You're an idiot. You think I would disown you for that? For just, you know, being a shut-in and going into your shell?" And then he gives him a headbutt, which ends up just being a full-on axe kick. He just drops his heel on Subaru's head and leaves him with, you know, a big old anime bump on top of his head. And it's really just funny that this guy's immediate go-to with Subaru is just violence. He'll hop on him, he'll do whatever it takes, he'll beat the shit out of him, but it's all in good fun, it's all playful, and there's no abuse or anything. It's just the relationship they have. I do think it's very humorous and it's very funny. And there was also the mention at the beginning of the episode that Subaru has been training every day, so realistically Subaru can hold his own here, and I'd love to see that if there's ever an opportunity for Subaru to partake in hand-to-hand combat. without powers, without weapons or anything like that. I think that Subaru might have an upper hand there because this could be the one thing he's good at when it comes to fighting. A truly, honestly heartbreaking moment in this episode, though, is when Subaru's father asks him to look after his parents, Subaru's father and mother, when they're older and they need the help. And Subaru just has to start bawling and breaking down and saying he's sorry that he can't. He has to go. He has to leave them. And he will never be able to do that for them. And it's very sad. It's very upsetting. And it makes me wonder, like, how the series will end. Is there, like, no opportunity or chance for Subaru to ever return to the world with his parents? Will he never see them again? I understand that this episode was really great, honestly beautiful closure episode for Subaru, but it just makes me wonder where like will he never see them again? Because that's awful. That's so sad. Not even the chance to call them, not even the chance to write a letter, not a chance to do anything with them ever again. That's tough. But Subaru is prepared. Subaru is ready. He's got the determination and he understands that this is what he needs to do with his life and this is what's going to happen. As he's saying goodbye to his father, there's this really sweet moment and then Subaru just is like, don't worry about me. I'm the son of Kenichi Natsuki. And he hits his classic, Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta pose. And it's just like classic Subaru. And he really is his father's son. And this is a huge example of that. And then we approach the mother section of the episode where he's actually ready to go to school. He's gonna go, he's dressed and everything like that, and he's prepared. He's not going to let this get him down anymore. He's going to overcome all of these things that he's feeling. He's going to overcome all of it. And then we learn that Subaru doesn't actually like mayonnaise. He just takes it because his parents do. And that's crazy because I thought he liked mayonnaise. We saw that in one of the OVAs that Rem turned a pool into mayonnaise for Subaru. I thought that he loved that shit, but apparently he doesn't. That's really interesting, and maybe he only sees mayonnaise as something that reminds him of home. Maybe it's a really nice reminder, and maybe that's why he likes mayonnaise in this isekai world. But of course, the whole point of the whole mayonnaise thing is that his mother watches his son, his mother understands him, and his mother knows him better than he does. His mother knows him better than he thinks anyone knows him, and that's because she's a caring person. She's an empathetic person, and she loves her son, and she cares to learn about him. She cares to take the time to watch and observe and learn more as much as possible about him. But she's also kind of crazy. She says she would take mayonnaise over the world. That's crazy. That's like something Dr. Pepper lovers would say. Subaru starts to go to school even though his mother's like, hey, you can just stay at home for the day. You don't have to go at all. She's very interesting because this could read as, hey, I'm going to try and hold you back from progressing, but it's very clearly coming from a place of, I don't want to see you get hurt again. I don't want to see you in any more pain. So if you need to take another day, you can take another day. Like that's what she means here. But you could kind of read into this in a different way, and I hope that people didn't, because I do think that she's a very sweet character. I think that her words are really thoughtful, but she does just say what's on her mind, as we see here when she starts talking about, I'm not going to repeat what she said, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's crazy for that one. I have no idea why she thought to share that, but it was really funny. Subaru tells us that he will do whatever it takes to earn the respect and favor of those he cares about, and we know that he will, and we know that he does, because he has done it time and time again with the resets and everything. He is constantly making people like him, and he talks about being a better person. He talks about bettering himself, but he does worry that he's not doing a good job of being his father's son. And that's when his mother basically tells him, you need to be yourself. You're only half your father's son. Even if you can get close to being half of him, that's more than amazing, because he is an incredible man, and you are also an incredible person, and you can be like me too. You can be your own person, and that's a beautiful message. And I think that that's something that really rings true for Subaru here, and it helps him by the end of this episode overcome a lot of the things that he's feeling. The tearful farewell with his mother is also adorable. They have some really beautiful words with one another where she's encouraging him to do what he needs to do for himself, but he feels guilty and he feels bad for leaving them, but she just acknowledges and voices that she's happy for him so long as he's happy. She didn't have Subaru to have Subaru owe them a bunch of things. She had Subaru so they could do things for Subaru. And yeah, I love that so much. I think that's a really nice way of putting why someone would maybe want a child. But at the end of this tearful farewell, Subaru leaves says goodbye, is wished well by his mother, and then has the flashback memories of the real time when he recalls leaving, and he never got over those feelings that he had. He was still very much down. He was still very much depressed and everything, and he wasn't really leaving his room, he wasn't really leaving his house, but he went to go to the grocery store, he went to the convenience store, and his mother wished him well, and that reminded him of that moment. And I think that's him just being glad that he got that closure, that he was able to say goodbye to his parents, even if it wasn't really them. It feels close enough, it feels good enough, and he feels like he has their blessing to continue doing what he's doing. And of course that's then when Subaru goes to school and he runs into Echidna, where we learn that this whole thing has been a trial, and that she didn't expect him to overcome it so quickly. But yeah, we'll get to learn what that means in the next episode. And yeah, this is a really, really incredible episode. This is a really amazing episode. This was such a good one. It was a really great insight. It was very different. It was very slice of life, but also a great insight into Subaru's character and why he is the way he is. I loved it so much. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode too down in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And of course, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when these videos go live. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up today. I hope that you guys are having a great day and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.